Well, the white paper was interesting. It struck me as a real change in tone from earlier reports, like the Five Presidents report, because it seemed to change the terms of the discussion about what we could expect or what we're willing to settle for going forward. So the white paper envisions a bunch of different future Europe's evolutions of the European experiment that were kind of different, more diverse than what seemed to be reflected earlier in the Five Presidents report.
I didn't like the kind of paper as it sets out all kinds of different scenarios without the paper itself choosing one or arguing for one of those. Actually, also thinking of what I just said about the opportunities that are opening up, I think the one, or a combination of two, the one of moving forward in many areas and the one of moving forward only with a couple of member states, not with all 28, of course not, because Brexit, not with all of 27, is the most likely of the scenario to be realized. So a combination of those two.
I think it's good that we have these different scenarios, okay, these 5 scenarios that, and it's a good way that, for the Commission, instead of telling exactly what to do and then have to negotiate, just put on the table. I think open up the discussion. That was good. But then I think if one thinks carefully about all the different scenarios, at the end of the story, basically, they are not there, okay, as a solution, I think. But there are 2 that I think that pretty much is what it's going to be, which is one, this idea that who wants to do more does more. I think that's already a reality because some countries are in the euro and the others not, okay, within the European Union. But also that's the number 3, and then the number 4 that says doing less more efficiently. And I will get the second part, not necessarily doing less, but I think that a lot of confusion and misgivings and frustration and discontent that shows part of the movement against the euro or the skepticism is by the confusion that many times have created to have this impression that the euro was going to solve everything, do everything, and the Commission had all possible policies there, when in fact a lot of these things are in the member states. And not be distinguished, it's a very different to say we have screening, we have good information and transparency about who is doing what is a good policy, and so on. I think that this peer pressure and this learning from others is very good in any large federation. The other is that people expect or think that this is going to be solved at the European level. And that, I think, that's what should be changed. So I will do whatever people want to do more can be good. It's true that it's always better to have it at the same time together. That's union always is like a self-enforcing thing, that it's good that we do things together. Cannot be just a la carte. Okay? But whatever we do, it has to be done efficiently. It's better not to claim to do it because that creates frustration.
I find it very positive that the question is asked, not let's go forward, but what is it that we should do? The second thing, rather than make a prediction of what will come out, I think we have to realize that there is a very major tension. That if we hear the people, the populations, we would say at this stage rather less rather than more. And if we hear the technocrats or the observers, it's rather we need more, we need to complete the project, we need to make it more coherent. And so I think that I hope that the authorities are going to reflect on that and think not only about where to go, which to choose, but how. I mean, I think the very important question is to get people on board, to get people enthusiastic again. And this is absolutely crucial. One observation that I would make is that there was a long time ago a decision in favor of subsidiarity, and subsidiarity meant that we were going to do at the level of Europe only what could demonstrably be justified to do at the Brussels of the centralized level. I think taking this principle seriously again would be very important, and that means probably doing a bit less in some domains that are not essential, and doing more, but more efficiently and visibly in the domains where Europe will really contribute to the welfare of Europeans.
I think the recent paper sort of highlights a whole range of alternative scenarios. In that sense, I would say it covers all. You never know all possibilities because the future have to adjust, but basically the range of all possibilities. I think out of the scenarios that it puts forward, essentially there are two of them which are most likely to take place. One in which we see a push forward of the European Union along probably what looks like a two-speed Europe, a further development of what currently is the EMU, the Eurozone, with further and deeper integration, and more likely than not other countries not currently members of the Eurozone joining. An alternative scenario, which is less likely I think, but could happen as well, is a scenario in which that progress forward gets stalled, and we either enter into a situation similar to where we stand right now, or even a small step backwards in some of the dimensions. I don't think it will go as far as some of the extreme scenarios which could be possible, like the sort of breakup of the Union or disappearance of the Euro area. It will likely be a stall in the process of integration. So those two are the most likely scenarios. My preferred, and I think also the more likely one, is the first one, in which we'll see probably a leap forward towards further EMU integration.
Well, I think the Commission has been very wise from the tactical point of view, given that the more important member states and leaders at the European Council were not able to design a clear path for the future of the European Union, and we are in a crisis that is not only economic but also political. The Commission put forward options. I think the best option possible, according to my wishes, is the fifth one, to advance in a stronger European Union, more political, with a social dimension and so on and so forth, but being realistic, the option of different speeds, to use the possibilities of reinforced cooperation, where the member states that want to advance can do so, but letting open the doors for those who will not be members of this group at the first moment, I think is the realistic one.